that the Vikings need to do a better job on closing out on the shots that Riverside puts up. It seems like they got caught on several occasions with their hands down and not moving, rotating to get over to stop the shots. But hopefully that will be one of their adjustments in the third, as we begin the third quarter here in a few minutes.
Let's hope so, Ben. All right, we're going to go to commercial. We'll be back in a few minutes with a few replays from the first half. And enjoy these ads brought to you by our sponsors.
You know, nothing is more precious than family. Our children, our pets, our loved ones, that's the true higher love. Recognizing risk to our family and pets, it's a big responsibility. There's going to be times we have to make decisions where we have to weigh the risk versus the benefit. For example, Lyme disease. The Center for Disease Control states that 300,000 people are infected with Lyme disease each year. That's 25,000 new cases a month. 25% of those new cases are children, ages 5 to 14. That's a significant risk. Mosquito-borne diseases and tick-borne diseases in our area are at the highest levels probably in the history of the country. Protect them. That's higher love. The worst thing you can do is nothing.
At Viking Concrete Solutions, customer satisfaction is what drives us. We take ordinary concrete and turn it into something extraordinary. Our low-cost decorative concrete systems are sure to grab everybody's attention. From residential, indoor, and outdoor textured overlays to the industrial rubberized epoxy coating, your free estimate is just a phone call away. You can also find us on Yelp, Instagram, and Facebook. Let us be your solution.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kirk Norbo. Here at Norbo Dental, it's a family affair.
And I'm Dr. Justin Norbo. We invite you to visit us for all of your general dentistry needs.
And we look forward to having our family serve your family.
Whether you're an infant or senior, people from all walks of life are welcome to our practice. From cleanings and prevention to restoration procedures and surgeries, We personalize your care based upon your individual needs. We provide same-day crowns made right here in our office, dentures, implants, and extraction. Featuring 3D cone beam imaging, we can diagnose and treat potential problems with careful precision. We also offer cosmetic dentistry and orthodontic services. Serving on dental committees and councils at the American Dental Association, Virginia Dental Association, and Academy of General Dentistry, we are active in the dental community to better serve you. At Norbo Dental, your smile is our top priority.
And we look forward to having our family serve your family.
Welcome to Magnolia's at the Mill, an independent American restaurant housed in a beautifully restored 100-year-old mill in the heart of beautiful downtown Purcellville.
Enjoy our warm ambiance and friendly, attentive service. Magnolia's menu represents regionally sourced and handcrafted cuisine of the highest standard and integrity. Inspired by pre-prohibition and mid-century recipes, we use seasonal, local ingredients to create modern craft cocktails. We offer an extensive wine list and craft beer from around the corner and around the world. We are a dining destination and the place for your next gathering or special event, at our place or yours.
Okay, we are back. Show you some team stats here. Oh, I think I can get an update for you on that one. I got that.
I guess not too much stands out. Like, I guess the whole game's starting to plan out here.
Yeah, the Rams are doing better on the shooting percentage by quite a bit.
Let's look at the
players. Yeah, let's look at the players then.
Not many glaring differences there.
Here's your players at halftime.
Let's hope the Vikings can cut down on the 12 points that Asbury got in the first half. I like that number way lower.
Yeah, they got to stop this Asbury-Everett duo that the Rams seem to have going here.
Yet the three-headed monster of Everett, Asbury, and Weirin, they've done a pretty good job on Weirin, but the other two.
Yeah, oh, you're doing that. Sorry. All right, looks like Vikes are going to have the ball to start things off, as our fabulous camera person, Jenna, is getting herself situated. The Vikes will inbound on the far side. Adams over to Dawson, and the Rams immediately start pressing.
The 1-2-2 it looks.
Dawson over to Adams on the near side here.
Adams directing the troops here.
He works it over to Obade. Back to Adams. The Vikings are just kind of surveying the defense. Oh, there's a pass into Volker. That
definitely like that ball to go there.
Volker kicks it back out. Obade now, probing the defense here.
Definitely like to see him give up that ball to a guard. Thank you.
He's just got nowhere to go. They're just probing the defense. Volker gets by his man, gets underneath, and puts it up and in for the first bucket of the first.
I'd say that's the way to start the second half here.
Yep, that's what they want Volker to do. Beat your man, and
Even if he's not scoring, he's effective. Moving it out of the basketball.
Weirin with it. Over to Everett. Underneath to Barrett. Barrett working against Volker. Banks it home. As Brian Barrett uses that big body to
definitely
make some room in the lane for himself.
Using his senior status to pretty much bully Volker on the block down there.
Obeid now with it. The pass to Tunnell out of bounds. So an errant throw. I think he expected Cooper to come out a little bit more. And it just went off his fingertips. Everett will bring it up.
And the tricky thing about Barrett there, he has the ability to play inside and out, which is another thing
he
to
hasn't
worry
really
about.
done much outside other than holding the ball. Weirin with it now on the far side. Working against Obeid. Obeid under to Barrett. Barrett clearly trying to do something against Volker here. Swings it around.
Come
Everett
off that
with it, drives the
baseline
lane
there.
against Dawson. Puts it up and draws the foul.
Dawson had the right idea, maybe.
Well, I'm not sure if I agree with that call. Everett jumped back into Dawson and drew
He definitely
the foul.
had the right idea, but I guess Dawson's not going to win that argument.
No, he's not. The free throw rattles out.
We just hope the referees call a fair game on both sides here.
Oh, the refs don't care. They'll call it fair because they don't know either team. They could care less about either team. They're just out here doing their job.
1 of 2 there.
As the Rams go back to a 4-point lead. Dawson against Everett. Over to Obeid.
Gives it to Adams.
Back to Adams. Obeid again with it.
Tough physical battle down on the block there with Tunnell.
A bit of a dangerous pass.
Weirin, I
Obeid
believe.
drives the lane, puts it up, can't connect, gets the rebound, and gets fouled on his way back up. That
Obeid.
foul's going to go against
Elusive here.
Going to go against Asbury, his second. See if Obeid can connect on these foul shots.
Obeid.
Off the mark on the first.
As 22 and 5 for Riverside come in, I believe.
And second one rolls in. The Rams will bring it back up. With no pressure from the Vikes. Now Adams comes up. Dawson
Looks like an extended 2-3 zone.
Jackson on Asbury.
They trapped
Over
the ball
to
there.
Reichard. That pass tipped away by Tunnell and picked up by Dawson. Dawson back to Adams. Adams thinks
Never
about a three. Thinks
Pass
better
the
of
ball
it.
with leaving your feet there.
And they'll set their offense up.
Oh, almost had it.
Obeid working against Weirin. Gets in. Can't connect. Gets the board. Puts it back up and in.
Yes.
Excellent work by Omer Obeid. Gets his own rebound. Puts the shot up and in. And gets fouled by Weirin. And that'll be Weirin's third.
Riverside having all sorts of trouble handling Obeid on the glass there.
Yes, they are. He's done a nice job under there this half.
By our count, he has about 8 rebounds already.
Obeid 11 points, 8 rebounds. Got Weirin his third foul. And they have, in fact, pulled Weirin out for the time being.
And a tie game.
Yep, Vikes have tied it up. Or rather, Obeid has tied it up. I think he's got all their points this half.
The Umair Obeid show. Here we go.
That's fine with me. Somebody's got to step up. Asbury for 3. Off the mark. Rebounded by Khan. He puts it right back up and in.
Absolutely no boxing out there. No,
there wasn't. A little bit too easy. Obeid again. Again. Can't connect. Again, the third time's a charm.
Obeid like King Kong. He will not be denied tonight.
No, he won't. So it's nothing like 3 shots and 2 rebounds. And we're tied back up.
Usually as the game progresses, you get tired and less strong, and Obeid's
And we got a 5-second call. Dawson playing some nice defense on Everett. And we get the 5-second closely guarded call, and that will be a turnover.
As the pressure builds here.
And now the jungle is responding to the Rams home crowd.
Let's just hope no stuffed animals fly out of the crowd like the Georgia and I forgot who else it was. They got a technical foul at the end of that game and lost it because of the stuffed animal.
Dawson now working against Asbury. Over to Obaid. Obaid with a hot hand this quarter. Back to Dawson. Dawson in the lane, puts it up, spins it off the glass. It won't go. And they're going to call it jump ball, but still, that's nice work by Cooper Tunnel to get that one. As he was not in position, but he went up and grabbed the ball anyway and created a jump ball situation.
Definitely the right call in that situation.
That was the right call. I'm glad they didn't call a foul because there wasn't one there. And even though the Rams get the ball, it just means the Vikings get the next one. So a good play by Tunnel.
Nance about to check in the game here. Coach Dawson ushered him quickly over to the scorer's table.
Yeah, Nance matches up pretty well with these two quick guards for Riverside.
A change of pace here.
Crazy pass, but run down by Kahn. Underneath. That's Ty Reichard with the basket.
A little bit too aggressive there by Everett.
And Dawson draws the foul against Everett. It's Everett's first. And the team third, so we're a long ways from any sort of foul trouble in that scenario. As Rams will go to a press.
And Richard sits down.
It in. Working against Everett, picked by Adams in the midcourt. Nance brings it across without any issues. And Nance is in danger of getting a 5-second call here. He gets rid of it. Adams now against Asbury. Tries the right side, nowhere to go. Swings it back, and we got a timeout by the Vikings.
Extreme pressure on that defense there for the Riverside.
All right, let's see if we can show you a replay here. This, I believe, is from the first half. Should be a couple of these. These are first half replays, but gives us something to do for 30 seconds. This is going to be Riverside, I believe. Three-pointer off the mark. Riverside pulls it down and runs the floor very quickly as that's Everett driving the lane and getting the bucket to go.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast. And our next one, looks like it's going to be Riverside again. As they work it around and underneath. Oh no, this is a steal. Takeaway by Adams. That was his nice up and under move. That was a sweet move by Adams there. All right, so those are your first half replays as we go back to live action here.
I wonder if that highlight will end up on ESPN tonight.
Dawson with a crazy pass off the mark.
Not really sure who his intended target was there.
Well, he was trying to throw to Volker, but I don't think Volker was where Dawson expected him to be. So easy takeaway for the Rams. As Kahn just said, thank you for that ball.
Definitely don't like to give away free possessions like that.
Nope. So Riverside with a 2-point lead, looking to get more. Everett, and they're going to call.
Call a foul on the floor, I think.
Got a foul on, I believe, Dawson. Nope. They called it on Nance. Couldn't tell if he was holding up 2 or 3 fingers. A foul on Nance. And that's a 3-pointer off the mark. With the rebound pulled down by Everett. And he goes back up and in.
Once again, the Vikings failed to box out there.
Yep, Hunter Harris' 3 was off the mark. Dawson drives the lane, and they called the block.
I think they called a block.
Yeah, I thought they might call a charge there, but they called the block on, I believe, Jackson. Yes, that's Trevor Jackson, so that'd be his second.
I think they would have gave it to him if he didn't kind of stick that leg out there at the end, but.
And Dawson will shoot, gets the first one to roll in.
Definitely put a premium on these shots. As Adams checks in and Obaid steps out.
So they're giving Obaid a bit of a breather. He's been Mr. Third Quarter, so hopefully they won't sit him too long. He's had the hot hand.
Where would the Vikings be without Obaid tonight?
And Dawson connects on the second to make it back to a 2-point game with 2.5 left here in our third quarter.
The Vikings settle back into defense here, back into the, looks like a 2-3 zone again.
Weirin over to Stiller. And Kahn wide open underneath, an easy bucket. No one contested him from the Vikings, what I'm trying to say, and not
no
very
defense.
well. Adams gets in the lane and draws the foul from Jackson again. That'll be his third.
I can't imagine Dawson being too happy with the last two defensive possessions for the Vikings.
And he will go to the line now.
As they pride themselves on defense. Adams, no matter what position you put him in, he's ready to roll. He sinks the first free throw. And Adams with another.
And got them both.
And back to a 3-point lead.
2-point lead now.
2-point lead.
Rams, Everett brings it up. Guarded by Nance. Over to Asbury with Dawson on him. Slips a bit, and Dawson goes to the floor to try to get it, and that's a jump ball.
Dawson went down.
Asbury slipped on his way trying to get past
extremely
Dawson.
hard.
The floor. And Dawson quite alertly just grabbed the ball, and he's pointing to the floor to try to get it wiped up. And
just hope Dawson's head's okay.
Yeah, I think it is. And there's where that play by Cooper Tunnell earlier makes a difference. He had a good attempted rebound that went up in a jump ball. That one went to the Rams. This one now goes to the Vikings. So we'll see if they can capitalize on this as
definitely
Rams
like the effort.
press.
If the Vikings get
Dawson
it in.
with it. Brings it across the timeline.
Slow everything down
too
here.
much issue. Tries the lane, but that's cut off by Weirin and friends.
Got no options there. Set out and maybe run a play here.
Over to Nance. Nance to the top of the key will reset the offense. Worked around the left side. Weave pass to Adams. Adams working to the right. Dawson likes the three. Can't connect. Rebounded by Asbury for the Rams.
Maybe a little bit too much length on that shot.
And Everett out of control. Gets in the lane but can't finish. And Tunnell with the rebound.
Strong rebound. And kept it above his head. Or I guess at
Nance.
chin level.
Oh, way off on that one. Tunnell tries to get the board but can't. And we're going to wind up with a foul. There's a chance of air ball come raining from the Rams student section. We're going to have a foul on Adams. It's going to be his second.
So Bade and Jones are back in again.
Vikings with only 3 fouls. Riverside with 5.
And Volker and Tunnell exit.
Tunnell takes a break. And Obaid and Jake Jones come back in. See if Obaid can continue his hot hand with just a minute left in its third quarter. Rams up by 2.
Nice
Everett.
shot for Nance that kind of missed everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, they seem to be willing to hold for one shot. With an entire minute left, I'm a little surprised, but the Vikings are in no rush to put any pressure on them. This is where a lot of the fans want to see a shot clock in high school, because you can kill a lot of time just doing this.
Kind of doesn't force the team to do anything here.
Yep, Vikings just sitting back.
Vikings pumping up the crowd here.
Coach Kaczynski calling for his play as the Rams start their offense.
As it seems like the stalemate's over here.
Asbury finds a hole, gets in the lane, connects on the bucket, and they call a foul on Jones for a block. Wow. Basket counts.
Extremely
Foul
late
on
call
Jake
there.
Jones, as he was well under the basket, but there's no arc at this level. Looked like he was set from here, but again, we're not down there, so we'll let the refs call the game. But it gives the Rams a 4-point lead with just 7 seconds left and a chance to go to 5 here. As the Rams do massive substitutions.
It's like a hockey line change out here.
And
as 11,
Kahn.
10, and 1. I guess not 1.
Jackson Kahn and Quentin Alvia come into the game. I think it's Alvia's first appearance. Asbury with one shot here. Looks like the Rams are just going to try to fight for the rebound here, put in some big bodies. And it doesn't matter, the shot goes in.
See if I can get off a shot here.
And ball's on the ground. And no shots, no fouls. So as we go to the fourth quarter, the Rams with a 5-point lead over the Loudoun Valley Vikings as Dawson's pleading his case with the refs. We'll bring you some stats here as we close out the third quarter. Again, the Rams shooting quite a bit better, especially from the line. 10 of 11 from the line. Look at that, man. And Vikings controlling the boards, but when the Rams are shooting better, it doesn't matter too much.
And most of those rebounds are at the hand of Obaid here, who's been a beast.
Yeah, we'll take a look here in a second at what his numbers are. He definitely had quite a few boards. Let this thing churn. So there you go. Where's Obaid?
Yes. By our count, 11 rebounds.
He's got his double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds. And I dare say the bulk of that was in the third quarter there. Asbury and Everett continue to lead the way for the Rams with 27 between them. The rest of the scoring spread out pretty well amongst the rest of the Rams. Really no one of significance in foul trouble other than Simon Weirin. Nobody on the Vikes side in trouble.
Obaid looking like my man Bruno Fernando out of the University of Maryland, who happens to be my team.
So as we resume the fourth quarter here.
The 5-point lead here.
5-point lead for the Rams. Everett.
Vikings would love a stop here.
Over to Asbury. Asbury tries to penetrate, nothing there, back to Everett. As this tandem has definitely been handled the ball 95% of the time for
Once
the
again,
Rams.
Riverside in no hurry on offense here. Seems like by design.
Adams on Everett. Tunnel slides out. As Vikings in a man-to-man, but switching readily. Asbury now with it, back to Everett. The Rams seem to be content to just kind of hold the ball out there and really slow things down.
Kind of a risky, I guess, idea here, only being up by 5.
Yeah, I agree. It's very risky, but they're just trying to take some of the time down. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, it's certainly not a big enough lead to warrant a stall tactic.
Reminds me of the state, one of the state state tournament games a while back.
Kahn now with it, back to Everett.
Everett
drives the lane.
Offense.
Forces up a shot, nothing there. No foul. Obaid comes out with it.
I'd have to say the Vikings got the best of that exchange there.
Yes, they did. I mean, the Rams took a bad shot and couldn't get the rebound. So let's see if the Vikes can capitalize at this end.
It only means something
no,
to capitalize.
And a sloppy pass gives it right back to the Rams. And then and the Vikes take it back. So a little bit of sloppiness here. Adams brings it across. Dawson with an open three, not even close. Wow. I don't see
Vikings need to settle down here.
And now the Rams, an easy bucket. Trevor Jackson somehow missed. And then the putback is good. Wow, what a crazy sequence that was. Man, oh man.
Vikings completely lost their composure in the last few minutes or so.
Hang on a second.
Everything going the wrong way so far.
All right, so 43 to 50. Let's show you a replay of that last sequence.
Definitely gives credit
crazy. Hang on a second.
Riverside on how much effort they've brought to this game tonight.
Okay, so let's watch this. This got crazy here, Ben. Here's what just happened. So Adams, after the steal, over to Dawson with a wide open three. That was just so far off. And the Rams, quickly working down the floor, missed it. Somehow the Vikings didn't get the rebound, and that ridiculously ugly shot went in. So that's how you get to a 7-point lead. Whoop, sorry, wrong teams. to the Rams. 7-point lead. Vikes now with just 2 timeouts
Maybe
left.
the Vikings settle down here and hold on to the ball and maybe cut back into this lead again. 7-point lead.
Yeah, they've had a couple of sloppy turnovers here. Okay, see if we can get one back here.
If the Vikings have any chance, they got to get some more players involved in the scoreboard other than Obeyed. And I guess that's it.
Yeah, it's been mostly Obeyed this quarter. I think Dawson's got 1 or 2. But yeah, it'd be nice to get Nance involved or Volker. We just got to get some offense going here.
With Adams' shooting percentage being so high this year, you would think he'd heat up at some point tonight.
Yeah, but he hasn't really had an open look. I mean, Asbury's done a good job of shutting him down. As there's a prime example. Asbury takes it away from Adams, up to Weirin for the easy bucket. So the Rams are going to town here. Another easy bucket for them.
Time is definitely not the friend of the Vikings at this point.
9 points now with 5 minutes.
This is where Dawson has to be a facilitator. Nance up top.
Tell him you have a job.
Not sure what the Vikings' plan is here. They're kind of just taking their time when their time is what they don't have.
Yeah, they don't seem to have a, you're right, Ben, they don't seem to have an offensive strategy in mind here. Nance now working against Weirin, almost to travel.
Got a way to travel there.
But, I mean, the Rams are just sitting back in a 3-2 zone as a tough shot.
Could have called a foul there.
And the Rams go back the other way quickly. All of a sudden, this one's getting out of control, baby. Weirin, sorry, that was Everett with the bucket.
Up until that point, it's been one and done for the Vikings on offense.
Nance quickly answers back, but if the Vikes don't get something going, there's a rebound by Tunnell, and again a turnover.
A terrible outlet pass.
Outside of a little.
I guess you're told there that the step and throw.
The score's actually right somehow.
Instead of just jump in the air and throw.
Jackson working inside, gets the friendly roll, and now the Rams with an 11-point lead. And the Vikings don't seem to have an answer. And we got a timeout by the Vikings with only 1 left. Yeah, the Rams are definitely taking it to the Vikes here. Vikings just don't seem to have an answer. They can't get any offense going consistently. They turn the ball over a little too often. You hear the Rams cheering about states. Now, both these teams are actually going to go on to the state tournament. What happens, though, is the winner becomes a 1 seed and plays against a 2 seed from Region D, I believe. The loser then would be the 2 seed and would play the winner of the Region D. So it's definitely an advantage to win this game. But the Vikings are not putting themselves in a good position to do that at this point.
Always an eventful time at the state tournament. And once again, thank you to all the families who helped contribute to the broadcast tonight, as the Vikings have a 22-12 rebound advantage, but really hasn't translated to anything on the scoreboard.
No, it hasn't. I think a lot of that is because you get Obeyed will have 3 rebounds and get 2 points out of it.
And the man-to-man defense for the Riverside has been suffocating.
And Dawson gets, that's not Dawson, that's Adams with a much-needed 3-pointer. Connects to bring it within 8. Now they're going to need some solid defense.
Vikings may have to start get aggressive on defense, like my partner said.
And that's what they're doing. Nance guarding Weirin.
Get the ball back.
Swing pass over to Everett with Adams on him. He tries to get past him, drives the lane, nothing there. Out to Asbury. Asbury with Dawson on him. And we got a timeout by the Rams. The Rams now have 3 timeouts left. It's only a 30-second.
The game's definitely not out of reach, as Hanley found out last game when they were up to 10 against Riverside and eventually, or ultimately lost that game, so never say never.
Nope, never say never is right. There's plenty of time left. Speaking of time, we'll read off our sponsors. Tonight's sponsors are Gricius Orthodontics, Tari Orthodontics, Browning Equipment, Terry's Body Shop. Special thanks to Velocity Wings and First Team Sports, our new sponsors for StatStream here. Steigerwald Gordon Koch and Wealth Advisors, Tim Mady Wealth Management, Patty Shishman Photography, Huntington SAT and ACT Tutoring, and Lydia Clark Realtor. This is Rod Ogren, my partner Ben Latrario, coming to you tonight from Purcellville, Virginia, home of the Loudon Valley Vikings. Courtesy of StatStream at www.statstream.biz. Rams bring it in. Over to Asbury.
Vikings doing everything to get that ball back.
Back to Everett. Everett with Adams on him. To the right side. Everett again. Into the lane. Over to Asbury. He's fouled on the way up by Volker. Can't connect on the bucket, but he will go to the line to shoot two. He got way too far underneath.
Yep, you would have liked to see that not be a foul there, or Volker make a foul there, but...
Well, I think that's a good foul, Ben, because he's got an easy layup if you don't foul him. They just let him get too far under uncontested.
That is right. I do think that the Vikings did let them get too far underneath for him to do anything else but foul.
Yep. See if he can connect on the second here.
I guess it's just unfortunate that it ended up with a foul, but oh well.
Yeah, but that's only his first foul, so we're in good shape there. Both teams with 5 as the second shot is off the mark.
The Vikings just get the ball and go.
Volker with the rebound over to Dawson. Dawson quickly puts it up off the mark. Rebounded by Jackson. We got a jump held ball situation.
Dawson can't buy a basket tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough shot, though. I mean, it's a running 17-footer.
Definitely.
As that ball will stay with the Vikings. Dawson to inbounds. Long pass to Adams. Back to Dawson. Open three. Got to hit it.
And he hit it.
Oh, he's off the mark. And the rebound pulled down by Asbury.
There's just a lid on there from outside for the Vikings.
Yeah, you got to have that one. I mean, that's an open three as the Rams turn it back over. Open, uncontested three-pointer in a game where you're down by 9 points.
Definitely shots you have to make.
Yep, that one was pretty critical. So they get the ball right back, though. So he's got another good look. Can't connect, but he does get fouled.
Looks like they caught him
Trevor
for 3.
Jackson. That's Trevor's 4th, and Dawson will go to the line to shoot 3.
As Hare and get you the number here in a second, get set the check back in.
Oh. First one rolls off the rim and out. The second one rolls off and in.
As Hare and Barrett check back in.
No, that was off and out as well. Wow.
Harsh words by the Riverside crew that followed them up here.
1 out of 3. Rams, no hurry now. Over to Weirin, back to Barrett. Barrett loses the handle, but they're going to call a foul. I think it's going to be on Volker.
Brian Barrett goes down in a heap there.
I thought they called a foul. I don't know what they called. No one's...
As Michael Ziller checks in.
No foul showed up on the board, yet somehow...
Not really sure what the whistles are for.
I have absolutely no idea what happened in the middle of the court. They blew the whistle in the middle of the floor, and there was no foul called, and now the Rams get the ball out of bounds. So I don't know what that was, but in any case, probably works out best for the Vikings because no foul was called.
Doesn't look like the conversation was too nice.
Well, at this point in the heated battle, they probably aren't too nice. As Coach Kaczynski is talking to Asbury, something about use your head a little bit and calm down. So
tell you what,
he must
this
have been getting fired up.
Has been a strange old game,
and
I got to tell you.
What are they going to call there? That's clearly off the Rams. If there's no foul, that's got to be Vikings ball. All right, I guess they're saying the Vikings poked it away. So the Rams will inbound.
Definitely not getting the home.
Into Everett, over to Weirin. Weirin against Dawson.
I guess the home love.
Adams trying for the steal, can't get it. Everett drives the lane back to
Vikings
Weirin.
are almost in a position where they have to foul now.
And there's the foul, Nance.
Foul on Nance.
And one more and they'll be in the bonus.
I believe Dausch was the one that got fouled.
Only a minute and a half left. The clock's definitely working against the Vikes
15 comes
now.
in as Hadi Khan, I believe. Do you pronounce that? Checks in.
Everett against Adams, brings it across. And there's the foul on Adams. So now they'll go to the line. That'll be Ty Reichert at the line for a 1-1. I don't know what kind of foul shooter he is, but he's not a starter, so it's probably a good bet that that was the right guy to foul.
And I guess I found out that Reichert is how you pronounce that name, so I'm sorry if I've been butchering that all night, which I most likely have.
That's all right. He hasn't been in that much. We've only called his name a couple of times, so we'll see how he does here. First one.
Learning on the job.
First one's in. And gets them both. Okay, so he was the wrong guy to foul. As Dawson brings it across, working against Weirin. Drives
Dawson
the lane,
takes it.
puts it up, tough shot. Can't get it to fall. Volker runs down the rebound. And they're going to give it to the Rams, saying Volker was out of bounds when he got control of that. A bit of a late whistle, but so now with 10 down by 10 and just over a minute left,
Jones checks
things are
in.
not looking good for the Vikings. I tell you what, Ben, it's hard to beat the same team 3 times in a season, and the Vikings are finding that out the hard way here tonight.
Definitely not 3 times a charm tonight. Well, potentially. We haven't decided things yet, but it's not looking good for the Vikings.
Nance. That'll be his third, and the Vikes or the Rams will go back to the line.
If you're a Viking fan, definitely a bleak picture being painted on the scoreboard here.
See if Reichert can connect on these two.
10-point lead here.
Yeah, 10-point lead with a minute 9. Not looking too good. Somebody's going to have to get hot from three-point land in a big hurry. I think they need to look to Adams a little more because Dawson's just off tonight. Wow.
I'd say the Vikings had a power outage when it comes to shooting tonight.
I'm starting to wonder if they brought in Reichert off the bench just because he's so good at foul shots. This young man's 3 for 3 in crunch time here.
The crowd, the chants of tee him up echo throughout Mountain Valley.
I think that's their designated foul shooter, Ben. He's 4 for 4. Adams puts up a 2, a long 2, which really doesn't help too much. And then Adams gets called for the foul.
Maybe a little bit too late for the Vikings to mount a charge here.
This will be the last 1-and-1 for the Rams. Under a minute, down by 10. So Vikings are looking at a lower seed in the state tournament here, as they'll go on to that. I believe the next round is Friday. It's a neutral site this year, as Everett makes the first. The way they used to do it was like a regionalized site. But given that they're the second seed, they may have to travel down to somewhere like Blacksburg or
the chant of start the tractors. One of my, not one of my favorites when our guys are losing, but kind of clever. Even though I have more than tractors out here.
Oh.
Jones.
Jake Jones for three. Rebound tracked down by Everett. He'll bring it up and slow it
time
down.
ticking away here. It looks like.
And that looks like it's going to be it, as the Vikes are no longer fouling. Asbury works it out to Weirin, over to Everett. 24 seconds now. You can hear the Rams fans going crazy.
The silver lining is the state tournament, I guess. If you're looking for silver linings tonight.
Asbury dribbling around. Jackson back to Everett. 8 seconds. That's going to do it, folks. So, the Riverside Rams, in their last season in 4A, have now won the regional championship, as the Vikings go down by 11 points, 62-51 our final.
An absolute eruption from the Riverside fans as it's their first Region 4C championship in their history.
And it's a pretty short history. I mean, it's only about their 4th year. This is the first time they've been good in basketball, though. So, congratulations to the Rams as they'll move on to the next round. The Vikings will as well, but they'll be the lower seed. So, we're going to sign off here. This is Rod Ogren, my partner Ben Letrario. We work for StatStream at www.statstream.biz. Tonight's game brought to you from Purcellville, Virginia, home of the Loudoun Valley Vikings. We are done for this evening. Thank you both for watching. Good night.